up, everybody? It's your boy Crazy One with your girl TQ.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, and we are the Theater Hoppers. We're here to help you in the date night debate. We got our social media on the thing this week.
Woo.
Progress.
Moving up in the world.
We're moving up in the world.
Moving up in the world. Moving up.
So we got a lot to talk about today. What we talk about today?
We do. We have the new Joker trailer, which I'm so excited about. We're also going to talk about something that you are like geeking out about. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop. We'll tell you what it is, just in case you don't know, and what's the news about it. We'll definitely fill you in on that. We also have CinemaCon is going on now, and so what CinemaCon is, we'll let you know about it and what's unfolding and what they're revealing in CinemaCon in Hollywood, and also ticket sales. We have some people that are breaking the internet right now.
Yeah.
And broke the internet.
Broke it.
Broke the internet.
Breaking
totally.
box office, breaking the internet.
Yes.
I mean, just
Definitely.
everything's break. Just please don't break our hearts.
Yes. Please don't. Please don't. So that is our rundown for today. And we are starting off with your amazing story. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
For all the geeks that are out there, and this news broke earlier today, I know you're rejoicing right there along with me, because one of the one of the most famous anime classics series of all time, Cowboy Bebop, is getting a Netflix live action makeover. I can't wait. Cowboy Bebop is a futuristic kind of jazz and kung fu fusion of a series. It's kind of like a little detective noir with a lot of jazz and pop culture references, and just like cool, slick detective dudes, but they bounty hunters with a couple of...
I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
I mean, but see, here's the one thing that you can relate to, though, because you got a lot of this, the music.
Yes, I do love the music from it. The music is epic.
The music from the classic series is second to none.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like, it's phenomenal. That's all I can say, is that the music is phenomenal. You can't beat the music. Yoko Kanno did a lot of the music there, with vocals by Steve Conti and the Seatbelts. I hope there's some sort of Seatbelts reunion to come back to make the music for this. I know Conti is still out there playing in New York City, so we could probably get him to redo a couple songs. But this would be so dope. So who do we have on the cast list for this bad boy?
You would ask me that question when you know.
Wait, okay. So we have John Cho.
Yes.
We have Mustafa Shakir. We've got it's Alan Hassel, if I'm saying that right, and it's Daniela, and I can't remember her.
Pinedella.
Yes.
Pineda. I'm sorry, Pineda.
Okay, Daniela Pineda. So I got 3 out of 4.
Yes.
I'm getting good.
And Alex Hassel.
And if anybody has seen the cast list, this is a phenomenal cast list.
Now, again, because I haven't seen it, I'm sort of like, okay, pairing people up from the clips of the movies that I did see. And so I guess when my question would be to them is, when they're pairing or trying to cast, are they going for vocal, or are they going for the closer they look, or how are they casting? What are the rules for casting when it comes to changing things from animation to live action? Well,
I'm really taking a stab in the dark here by saying that this particular series, the actors out there I'm just gonna put it out there. I believe they had to audition for this. I don't think any of these actors are to the point where they get automatic roles.
Okay.
So therefore, I'm saying that they probably read about this and saying, yeah,
this is something I want to do.
Because of the following that this show has, that this is a good look for them. And they probably went out and nailed it. Now, I'm getting a lot of flack from people who are saying that they don't want to see John Cho as Spike Spiegel. But to that, I say There is a scene in Star Trek Into Darkness where Sulu has to take the captain's chair because they're going to go on a mission. And he delivers this heart-threatening monologue to the enemy that ends off with, "If you test me, you will fail."
And that got him his job.
Listen,
that got him
anybody
his job.
who has ever doubted John Cho as the playing Spike Spiegel, go watch that scene in Star Trek Into Darkness, and you will automatically relieve yourself of all doubt that he can pull this character off. This dude can act. If you've seen him in Searching, he played a whole different kind of character.
A whole different kind of character.
From what he played when he was in Star Trek, which is a whole different character from what he played with Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
So this dude can act, and I believe if anybody can pull off Spike Spiegel, it's this guy.
Okay. I'm gonna have to take your word for it, and then I'm gonna have to go and watch it before the movie comes out, so that I can actually like draw my own conclusions whether they did a good job.
I have tried so many times to get you to watch Cowboy Bebop, which you keep saying I don't want to watch a cartoon. Yeah, this is much more than a cartoon.
I hear you, and I believe you. Because so far, some of the anime that you've had me watch has been really, really interesting and really, really realistic.
Yeah.
And so to see this, again, pairing it with the music, because I do enjoy the music from this, I think it should be really good.
See,
I'm excited just for that, to see how close they come.
Well, see, they're not going to come totally close because some of the imagery from the 1998 series won't hold up in 2019. So I kind of get it. When you look at the character of Faye Valentine, who's going to be played by Daniela, what is it? Pinella. So when you look at the character of Faye Valentine, she's kind of like a big-breasted ditz who, if we're gonna, pop up current events, is kind of like the Cardi B of the bounty hunter verse.
Really?
Yeah, she kind of uses her looks to get by, but she is just as dangerous as they come. Okay. When it comes down to how she handles herself. She can shoot a gun. Okay. But she normally goes and looks for these unsuspecting dudes, and really she's a swindler. She's a kind of a female Han Solo, just with less swag.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
So seeing her in the role, I'm not quite sure how that will fare. Okay. But it's kind of like they have to modernize it somehow, some way, because what happened 30 years ago, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yes, you are.
20 years ago.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
20 years
ago.
Yes, you are saying it.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. But the one that I'm really interested in is Jet Black, who's going to be played by Mustafa Shakir.
Now, I do know that character. Okay. Because we've had, in the past, we've had some analogies to him. And so I've seen his character. So I'm really excited about. Mm-hmm. That I'm excited about, to see how well he pairs up. I'm excited about that one.
And the thing that I'm excited about when it comes down to the Jet Black character, with Mustafa Ali being, Mustafa Ali.
That's not him.
That's the wrestler. Mustafa Shakir. With Mustafa Shakir being cast as Jet Black, my thing is, the original Jet Black character in the anime series was voiced by a black dude.
Oh, right.
So
that should be
being that said, and if you look at the character of Jet Black, you put a beard, a goatee on this dude, and it would look just like,
you can pull it off.
Yes. And somebody, when we posted this in the Theater Hoppers group, somebody said, isn't it scary how Mustafa Shakir looks like Jet Black in real life? And I'm just like, yeah, it's just, just darken up the skin tone and there you go. But he was really the soul of the show. when you go in and you check out the relationship between him and Spike, like him and Spike, they're on equal grounds, but he's a little bit less gung-ho, a little bit more wise because he's been burnt by the world. So
so my question is to you, are they taking the movie straight from, are they taking the live action straight from the anime, or is it dated? Is it
Cowboy Bebop takes place in the future. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's we can kill the dated stuff there.
Okay.
But the parallel that I want to bring up is the fact that they got highlighted for 10 episodes on Netflix, which is your typical Netflix run.
Series, yeah.
And so if you can take some of the less strenuous, or as we say, filler episodes from the anime and just go with the straight up story, because I got to talk about my man Alan Hassel. That's his name, Alan Hassel, yes. Right? I got to talk about my man Alan Hassel, who is a more classical actor than what we would expect, because this dude does like Henry IV and Masterpiece Theater and things of that nature. Alex Hassel. It's Alex.
Alex Hassel. I'm sorry. He's more of the English.
Right.
The historian type.
Right. Now, he's playing Vicious. And Vicious is the yang to Spike Spiegel's yin. So if Spike is the more calm, cool hand Luke type of calm approaching dude, the smooth guy who could just kick your butt at any given time, then Vicious is literally I think better,
right, but
I act worse. Yeah.
Got you.
So they are the same, they're polar opposites. They came up in the syndicate together. They were both in the same kind of mafia-ish type of deal. Spike was like, nope, I'm getting my girl and I'm getting out of here.
Gotcha.
And Vicious is like, no, that's also my girl and you're not leaving.
Okay, so they're like pulling ends and
they
got you.
Yes. So they separated, they got their own lives, and all of a sudden they clash back together. And it's very interesting to see that dynamic, because there's two people from this series that I haven't heard a casting from, and that's going to be Julia, the love interest between the two.
So wait a minute. They say they share the same love interest, and they share the same sidekick.
No.
Okay.
Vicious is the bad guy.
Gotcha.
Straight up bad guy.
Okay.
He is is the total opposite of Spike Spiegel. Spike Spiegel, he's got good in him.
Got you. Okay.
But they're both ruthless, because Vicious will cut you up with a sword, and Spike will shoot you down. No thing. There's a gun versus sword in this thing. So yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic, which is why the anime did so well, because it touched on so many themes, it touched on so many tones, love, trying to get out, redemption, just having the perils of life kind of just make you not want to live anymore, but you know that you have to live for something, and what do you do when you don't have anything else to live for? That type of deal. Gotcha. It's a really good series. I'm going into it way too
excited.
Deep.
I
am so excited. I am so excited.
Do we have a date that this is set?
I did not see a date that's
I didn't
set,
either.
but it could be. They just casted him, so we might not see this until late 2019, maybe early 2020.
Okay.
So, that being said, let's go to our next story.
We had an amazing trailer drop on this week, and I think we talked about it. We touched on it last week. When we actually got the date, and we said who did it best.
Oh, no. We're not there. We're not there. We're at the box office. Box office.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is what happens when you change everything on me. Okay, so we're going to the box office.
Yeah, one story I change, she loses it.
Somebody broke the box office.
Okay.
On this week. And well, we had two people. We had two things that went on in the box office. And one was Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Captain Marvel actually hit
$1 billion.
$1 billion. $1 billion.
Worldwide. Now,
it is the seventh picture in the MCU to reach this milestone. It's joining the ranks of Avengers, Avengers Infinity War, Black Panther, The Avengers, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Iron Man 3.
Wow.
It also marks the 18th Disney movie to gross over $1 billion.
Wow.
Now, the 21 films in the MCU have collectively hauled $18.5 billion.
$18.5 billion. And
$18.5 billion.
And that is how, ladies and gentlemen, you earn enough money to go take over another network.
Right.
All right.
Right. They have done, man, when I was doing the research for this, I was like, wow, all of that money. And I'm happy for them. I think Captain Marvel is actually the first Marvel movie with a female lead to do that well.
Yes.
So we're really, really
well. It's the first Marvel movie with a female lead. Period. Right. So, right. But you have to think about it because it's not just a female lead superhero movie because Wonder Woman didn't do that good.
No, it didn't.
They only did like 800 and some change worldwide. All right, so you got to think about it. And Wonder Woman's a more popular character
than Captain Marvel. Yeah.
And with that, you have to just bear it out and just say that Marvel and Disney,
They work. It works.
Marvel tells a better story.
Yes.
That's it.
In the movies, they always have. They always
full
have.
Disclosure, Wonder Woman was a better movie.
Yeah, it was.
Wonder Woman was a better movie than Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it was.
It was a better movie than Captain Marvel.
Yes, it was. I can admit to that.
However, Captain Marvel was the I don't want to say the Reigns of Castamere because that's going too deep. That's the Red Wedding episode. But everybody knows that in Game of Thrones, the second to last episode is the episode that you have to watch because that's when something's about to happen in that episode. All right. Captain Marvel was that second to last episode. Because of what happened in Infinity War, everybody's we have to watch it because Endgame is coming out the month after. We need to see what happens, how this connects. Right. So even though Captain Marvel, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch, wasn't a bad movie, but because of the fact that it has ties into Endgame, and Endgame is one of the most sought out movies out there. All right, it's people got to go see it. Because they want to know, and that's how it makes the big bucks. So,
but I agree, Wonder Woman was a better movie, but like you said, this ties everything together.
Right.
So it's like I'm going to see it, even if it's just to tie these together.
Yep.
I'm going to see it for that purpose. I don't necessarily want to see Captain Marvel because some people really didn't want to see it they really didn't want to see it because of the hype, because of. Brie
Larson. It was a woman.
Right, because it was a woman. Let's just put it out there. Because it was a woman, they didn't want to see it. But they needed to see it in order to link it to Endgame.
Right.
So in that, it hit the 1 billion mark.
It hit the 1 billion mark.
It hit the one. However it did, it hit the 1 billion mark. Well, the other to do some damage at the box office this week was the sales of the Avengers Endgame.
The pre-sale tickets.
It
took down. Listen, the power of Disney right now.
It's amazing.
It's Disney took down Disney's own record.
Yeah.
Before Avengers Endgame pre-sales went on sale.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if you get this right.
The top ticket holder was The Force Awakens by Star Wars.
You got it.
My homework.
Got it.
The Force Awakens was it went, I think it was 24 or 48 hours that it took, and it literally shut down all the sites. People couldn't get.
Yep.
Avengers Endgame did it in 6 hours.
Yes.
6 hours. Listen, if you didn't get your tickets by 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that was Tuesday morning, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. I was on my way to work. All right. It was like 8:45 and people were posting up 30-minute waits, 45-minute waits, hour and a half
Now,
waits.
I have a question. When did you get ours?
I got ours 2 o'clock in the morning. No. I got ours at it was some ungodly hour in the morning.
Now, according to sources we have, it said that tickets went on sale at 5 o'clock on Fandango.
Yeah.
That was the first pre-sale tickets that went out. They also set a new record for the best first day of sales in less than a half a day on Adam as well.
Wow.
And AMC theaters shut down.
Yeah.
They totally shut down AMC theaters.
They couldn't keep up with the volume.
And then when it finally got back up,
right,
their mobile app still didn't work. So you had to go to the actual theater to get the tickets by that time. So you won't be able to get tickets for this movie for probably 2 weeks after.
Right.
2 to 3, maybe 3 weeks after the preview.
When I went and got our tickets, the whole middle section was like a big hole. Like we ended up getting tickets like in the middle,
right?
But not where I normally sit. I normally sit like dead center in the middle, dead center of the speakers, dead center of the speakers, dead center of the screen, because I want to get that full. Yes. No double edging from the 3D glasses, because we're going to see the IMAX one. I don't want to, have more sound on this side than I do on that side.
He's very,
listen, when you want to experience a movie, you have to experience a movie.
We have waited in line 3 hours. We have really waited in line for like first and second seats. We've done it.
Listen,
that's why we're theater hoppers.
But when we did, this was before the assigned seating era.
Right.
So we got assigned seating, but when Force Awakens came out and we went to go see that, I told her we need to get there 3 hours before the movie started. She was like, 3 hours? What do we need to get there?
There was a line.
Listen, we got in line in just enough time to get to the seats that I wanted, because other people didn't know about the rule.
Right.
And we got the seats that I wanted, but within 15 minutes of us arriving to that, that theater, the line was already going out the door. They had to start a second line that was literally going out of the theater into the parking lot to go see Star Wars Force Awakens. So when it comes down to getting your seats for these geek movies, it's not a game. No. It's really not a game. No. It's serious business.
They're not playing.
These geeks.
They're playing no games.
These geeks and these nerds, okay? We will sit there. We will bring our drinks, our snacks. We will bring a card game.
There were people there having trivia in the middle of the lines. They were doing all sorts of things.
Listen, it is the best form of community. People who don't know each other will sit there and engage in full conversations. It is the best time to go see the movies when there are geeks involved, because geeks are very passionate about their movies, and they will sit there, they will debate with you, they will rejoice with you, they will discuss, and dare you say anything that goes against them, then they will be ready to fake fight, because they can't really fight. They will
fight, and they will sure try.
They will try.
They will try.
But they won't.
They will definitely try.
They will test us, and they will fail. So yes, I had to throw that in there. So Avengers Endgame setting the record for pre-sales.
And if you have not got your ticket, if you did not get your tickets,
sorry,
don't worry, you're not getting them.
Yeah.
You're not getting them. You can get them, but you won't get them.
You can go try, and your phone might get dusted.
Yeah, the first three weeks tops.
It's like Thanos just snapped and all the seats just disappeared.
It's funny because that's what AMC Theater said. AMC Theater said, we want everyone to be able to grab their Avengers Endgame tickets, but it looks like we've gotten Thanos snapped. We're working on getting things back up and running, and in the meantime, please try our website. Keep trying our website or our partner sites.
Yeah.
So yeah, they weren't. And again, by the time they were up, which was Thursday afternoon,
see how these pictures are grayed out.
Yeah,
those seats were grayed out. So
good tie-in.
That
great.
I kind of do my thing.
That was good. That was good.
Listen, guys, before we move on to our next story, please take a moment to help us out. Like the broadcast, share the broadcast.
The page.
Like the page. Yes, please, like the page. All right, follow us on social media after the show. But please invite people to watch the show with us. Our show kind of runs on your support. The more numbers that we get, the better that it is for us to keep this show going. So please take a moment, invite some folks, and get into the conversation, and share the broadcast out. And we also will be taking your questions on the show towards the end of the show. So we got some time left. We will definitely take your questions and answer to the best of our ability.
And we're here every Thursday.
Every Thursday night, 8 o'clock-ish.
we try. We fight hard for 8 o'clock.
The crew, you're looking at the crew right
Yes.
here. All right. So we don't have a team of people behind the cameras. I actually have some stuff in front of me that you can't see that allows me allows me to do stuff like this. Okay. But you can't see what I'm pressing.
We
you
set
can't see what I
everything
got.
up and
So that's kind of what it is. So please help us out. All right. And also, if you're in the New Haven, Connecticut area and this is something that you know how to do or something that you want to learn how to do,
Always taking interest.
please hit us up in the inbox because we are willing to train some people because, we need people to help.
We want to strive for that 8 o'clock time.
We want to strive for that 8 o'clock time. I want to have titles on the bottom to show, what we're actually saying and what we're talking about. And I want all that stuff.
Don't worry. We got it.
We'll get there.
We're going to get there.
What's our next story?
We can go to the trailer now.
Yes, we can go to the trailer
now. We had an awesome trailer come out this week. Joker, and we were talking about it last week of who did it best.
Yes.
And we had a lot of people comment on who was the best Joker. And right now we have a trailer with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, as the new Joker.
And I'm sort of excited about this.
And this will be, I believe, the 5th iteration of Joker.
Yes.
Cesar Romero, you have Jack Nicholson, you have Heath Ledger. Yeah, Jared Leto. I would throw Mark Hamill's name in it, but there's a voiceover and not a live action portrayal. So
right, and someone said that he was the best. Mark Hamill was the best, and I think he was one of the best Jokers. Right. I have to admit, yes, he was one of the best Jokers. But as in live action, I would have to say Jack Nicholson is my favorite.
Ooh.
I know. We definitely disagree on that. I say Jack because you cannot beat that. That whole dancing with the party man thing, you can't beat that.
You can beat that.
I mean, outside of
you can
Heath
beat.
Ledger.
You can.
I
beat
like
that.
Heath Ledger, but I like that whole whimsical.
You can beat that Joker with 3 magical words.
What?
Why so serious?
Oh my goodness. I did like Heath Ledger's Joker, but I think Jack Nicholson did it best. I'm really excited to see how Joaquin Phoenix makes this whole character his own.
Want to know how I got these scars?
You know what?
I'm just saying, listen, it was, Jack Nicholson did a more toned down version of what Cesar Romero did in the Batman series back in the 60s. All right. He was still, kind of all over the place type of thing. But when Heath Ledger did it, he grounded it. He grounded it all the way. It wasn't a vat of chemicals that made him go crazy. It wasn't, we don't know.
Yeah, they never showed an origin. Yeah, there's no origin for that Joker.
This is doing something that is really unprecedented, which is giving a villain its own origin story. Yeah. But we've never had an origin from like a villain. We've got superhero origins all the time, but we've never had a villain origin story like this before.
Honestly, I think Joker might be the only villain that we've ever had an origin for. Because we've had even in the
we get the
89
origins.
Version of you're right.
We get origins all the time, right. But we don't get their own movie with an origin, So
I think that's true. I like someone I was watching when I was watching the trailer for this, I was reading the comments on YouTube and somebody said Joker in 1989 made from chemicals and Joker in 2019 made from society. And I think that's the part I'm looking forward to see how, because this parallels a lot with society today,
right? And
how villains are made. How actual villains are made, and it's going to be interesting to see this, because again, this is how actual villains are made. The society creates villains now.
And here's the thing that I get nervous about when you're telling these type of stories, and there's another. Is a forward phrase that is a very popular song, and it's called "Sympathy for the Devil." And I get kind of nervous that movies like this create sympathy for the devil, And like, it's one of the reasons why I didn't like Maleficent.
I know.
And it's because it's like, okay, so you're really giving her an excuse to be bad. Not a person who is just like going through some really crazy stuff and just flips out.
Right.
You know, you just gave her, and what
But there can be hope. There can be hope for them. That's the thing.
But anybody who knows the character of the Joker knows that there's no hope for the Joker. The Joker is just
by the time he's done.
No, like, see, that's why it pays to be a nerd, my dear. All right, because when you go and you look at the Joker story, all right, the dude is just twisted. Like the reason why a lot of people like Ledger's Joker is because there was no rhyme or reason. Some people just want to watch the world burn. In the words of Alfred Pennyworth, that was that Joker. That is Joker. Right. He just wants to see the world, or not even the world. He just wants to see Gotham City burn. Okay, that's it. Like, he doesn't have any motivation. Is not. He's not trying to get rich. He's not trying to rob banks. He's not trying to, take over Wayne Industries and nothing like that. He's just causing havoc, just to be causing havoc.
Just to be doing it.
So I'm interested in seeing, and the fact that this is a character piece, I like that it's a character piece, but I'm interested in seeing how they pull off the character piece of the Joker in this Joaquin Phoenix
I
film.
am really excited to see this movie. It's slated to release October 4th of 2019. So I'm really excited to see.
Ooh, right in time for Halloween too.
Yes, it's really. I'm really, 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 really anxious to see. I'm really anxious to see this movie.
I'm on the fence with this movie. I think it looks like a good character piece, but for me, it's almost like it's not something I would want to go to the movies to see. It's no big explosions. It's no really big action, so I don't. But I would go to the movies. You would go to the movie if you would go to the movies. See, that's all well and fine because I would end up probably going with you. But I'm just saying, for my taste, character pieces aren't what I like spending my money on in the theater. Right. Now, when it comes down to on demand and stuff like that, we'll sit back and we'll watch it. Let's Netflix it or whatever. But when I pay my money to go to movies, I really want to go and pay to see spectacle. I want to see, like jaw-dropping effects, or even we went to go see Baby Driver, and Baby Driver wasn't like a sci-fi classic.
But it was worth going to see in the movie
theaters. It was well worth going to see
really
in the movie theaters.
So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Go see it.
We'll have to do like a retro review on that or something like that. Yeah,
because that movie was totally awesome. The soundtrack was off the chain.
Dope.
Off the chain.
All right, so moving on to the next one. And this is...
Right now, CinemaCon is going on. Yes.
No, go ahead.
What's wrong?
Go ahead. Keep going.
He's missing it. CinemaCon is going on, and if you don't know, CinemaCon it happens every year in Las Vegas.
It's like Comic-Con, but for movies.
For movies, and it's one year I really want to go, so we can just go and just walk in.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm the whole totally.
You would
I'd be like, wow, like I do in New York City all the time. Just gonna be like, wow.
Help me out. Wow. Help me. We'll help you. Help.
So in CinemaCon, movie companies go and they give out their big releases and they tell everybody what they're going to do. They put out their whole slate. This is what we're doing for this year.
Right.
And so we had some releases.
Yeah, we have. Sheesh. You want to run down this list?
Let's see. For Disney had given their whole slate for 2019. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, a lot of the movies were kept with the acquisition of Fox.
Right.
So we have.
So any movies that were going to be released through Fox, that when Disney bought them out, don't worry, they're still going to be released.
Yeah. So we have the Dark Phoenix, which I'm excited about. The New Mutants, which were Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants were to be released by Fox, and they will still be released with the acquisition.
I want to stop right there before we go back into that, because some news broke out about Dark Phoenix and the movie, because everybody is like
I was upset about the news, too.
Now that Fox is going to acquire X-Men, are we going to see them integrated with the Avengers and everything like that? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to tell you right now, the X-Men as you know them will not be integrated into the MCU.
I wanted to cry when I saw that article.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. I mean, they can probably cherry pick, and if they want to keep Fassbender and what is the dude that plays goodness. His name is right on the top of my tongue. The dude who played X.
Professor X?
Yes.
Now I can't think of his name.
Goodness.
And I can see him. That's the bad part about it.
It's right on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it. But anyway.
They're going to keep him.
Yeah. Huh?
They're going to keep him.
No, they can if they want to.
Right.
If the story calls for those two being X and Professor X and Magneto. But as for right now, the Dark Phoenix is it's going to be
movie.
the send-off for this generation of X-Men, which actually this is the tie-in to all the X-Men movies. So they redid, they're redoing the storyline. They retconned X-Men The Last Stand because that movie was just hot garbage.
And the funny thing is, I watch it like every time it comes on
TV.
And he's like, why do we have to watch this? I actually like it. I mean, I put it on and I work, but
it is the worst. It is. Oh my
goodness! It's not
goodness.
that bad.
Yes, it is. It is literally the worst X-Men ever. Ever. It's not that bad. The worst X-Men ever. They did Phoenix completely wrong. Yeah. They just completely messed up that storyline. They stripped her down to like some emotional blob of a character, and they called it a movie. Come on. And everybody on X2, when they saw her, the Phoenix under the water, everybody was all excited.
I was so excited.
And then we get this red leather, red hair. So sad. Man, come on.
I'm still excited to see it.
Okay, back onto the slate.
I'm still excited to see it. So not only do we have those two movies, Dark Phoenix and The New Mutants, we also have Captain Marvel, which was released, Dumbo, which was released, Breakthrough, which is actually coming out, I think, next week. Penguins, Avengers Endgame, Tolkien, Aladdin, Dark Phoenix, which I already said, Ad Astra, Toy Story 4, Stuber, The Lion King, Artemis Fowl, Spies in Disguise, The Art of Racing in the Rain, The Woman in the Window, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Ford versus Ferrari, Frozen 2, Star Wars Episode 9,
and Call of the Wild.
You know what's interesting? A lot of those movies are remakes.
A lot of those movies are remakes.
I mean, I started to say something, but I'm not going to say what
I mean, but listen, a lot of these
reminds me of gospel music.
Well,
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. So
that's what it sounds like, and
you have to understand the culture of today's movie making industry, and which is we want to be able to present. We don't want to create the next big story. We want to present a great story. So
retelling it is not.
Well, I mean, if without retelling it, you wouldn't get things like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. You wouldn't get things like.
Should they redo that?
Heck no. That movie is a classic and should not be touched.
I understand that. There's a whole lot of classics that they shouldn't touch, but they still do.
The only thing with Scott Pilgrim versus the World is that people just didn't know about it to go see it.
I agree.
Now it's a cult classic.
I know.
It's like Blade Runner because Blade Runner it bombed at the box office, but when they teach Blade Runner in film school because they call it a masterpiece.
Yes.
But Scott Pilgrim is one of Edgar Wright's greatest accomplishments.
Yes, I agree.
When you go back and watch,
he also did Baby Driver.
He also did Baby Driver. He did a lot of movies. He was supposed to do Ant-Man, but I guess it was a scheduling conflict or whatever. I would have loved to see what he could do with Ant-Man.
I agree.
But that being said, Call of the Wild was a movie way back in, I think it was one of those movies that they showed you in middle school after you read the book, and it was like, okay, well, here's the movie.
Yes.
Outsiders is one of those.
Yes. S.E. Hinton's books were all they used them all for that.
Call of the Wild was Jack London, but
Yep.
but the remakes, some of them are not remakes; they're just adapted.
Well, Call of the Wild was because that was one of those first Disney movies that they first, the whole color thing when the channel came out, and they were like really excited about doing the Disney thing, and
but the thing about it is, Call of the Wild wasn't really. It was really about Buck the dog,
right?
It wasn't really about. I mean, so you could almost,
it was the first real dog story.
You can almost and what I hope they don't do with Call of the Wild is what they did with Dumbo, is that they just threw the human element in there, because the human element in Dumbo, the cartoon, was almost non-existent.
Right.
All right.
And now it's a whole different story.
Now it's a family adventure with Dumbo, and it's like why? And I mean, and I'm not discouraging anybody from taking their kids to go see Dumbo. Your kids will probably love Dumbo, but you, the adult, will probably look at Dumbo and like, why did they do this?
Yeah, this is not the same Dumbo we grew up on.
Especially with the fact that Tim Burton did it, which means there's going to be a whole bunch of circus weirdness.
As much as I like Tim Burton, I totally agree with you.
Listen, Tim Burton ain't been hitting like he was back then. I
totally agree with you, because the movies he did back then were made for that. They were. Beetlejuice was supposed to be creepy.
Right.
Batman, Edwards, they were supposed to be creepy. Dumbo's not supposed to be creepy.
No. I mean, well, it can be.
It's not supposed to be creepy.
Listen, there's some imagery in Dumbo, the original Dumbo, that's
I
just like,
understand that,
listen.
but it was a Disney cartoon, and it was not supposed to be creepy.
No, it was. It was. Listen, look at the themes that Dumbo. What is the theme that Dumbo deals with?
I understand
How
that.
did Dumbo become to be on his own?
I understand the theme.
Look at Bambi. Okay.
I understand the theme.
Look at Bambi.
But it's still not supposed to be creepy.
They shot Bambi's mother.
There's a difference between going through a theme and being creepy.
Bambi's
There's a
mother.
difference.
Okay, and this is supposed to be a kids movie, and they teaching these kids about death. They're teaching them about abandonment.
Man.
They teaching them about being all their
Disney
own.
was good for that.
Yeah.
Disney was real
They was
good
teaching
for
people
that.
racism because them crows.
But it wasn't supposed to be creepy.
Yes, it was.
That's not creepy. That's life. That's a part of life. It's not supposed to be creepy, though.
Getting drunk.
Yeah, everybody got that uncle.
Stop sticking up for Disney, all right?
I grew up on Disney. It wasn't supposed to be creepy.
If you were to real life that's a crazy...
I mean, granted, yes, I get it, but it's still not supposed to be creepy.
You sitting there trying to hold on to your childhood right now. I'm going to need you to stop.
It's not supposed to be creepy, though.
I'm going to need you to stop.
Nobody said it was supposed to be creepy.
Yes, it was. Listen, you know how much if clowns and circus stuff weren't creepy, we would have no Killer Clowns from Outer Space or movies like It.
Which the second installment is coming out.
Wait, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
I'm still not going to see it.
Did you see the first one?
No.
Listen, you are missing out on some...
I am not going to see that movie.
Ask your questions in the chat, please.
I refuse.
Please ask your questions in the chat, because you're missing some excellent...
I'm not going to see that.
It was a... I'm not going to say... it wasn't as scary as you think it is. That's number one. Because a lot of movies that you think... It took her almost a year to watch A Quiet Place, not realizing that it wasn't a horror movie.
It was actually really good.
Yes.
I was a little
She thought that the Hunger Games was a bunch of kids fighting over food.
In actuality, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
They weren't fighting over food.
They were fighting for
No,
food.
they weren't.
They had to feed them. The whole district things had to feed each other.
No, they didn't.
Fighting over food.
No, they didn't. They had different agricultures and different industries and all that other stuff, and people who live wealthier than others. All right, but it was a fight for independence, not a fight for food. Sheesh. But you won't watch it. It is not as bad as you think it is. Did you watch the old television series back in the day? The ABC series?
No.
Oh, come on.
No. Stephen King should no. There's only one movie by Stephen King that I actually watched and enjoyed. Needful Things. And you've probably never seen that.
The Stand?
I did see The Stand.
Misery?
I saw Misery.
Pet Sematary?
No.
Really?
Anything that has to be brought back to life, I don't need to watch.
The Shining?
I did see The Shining.
And you can't watch it?
Nope. The Shining was so creepy. I won't watch it now. If they redid The Shining, I probably would not watch it.
They did redo The Shining.
I'm not watching it.
And they got a part 2 coming out.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
Ewan McGregor is playing Danny.
I'm not watching it. As bad as I want to with Ewan McGregor, but I'm not watching it.
Listen, listen, that's going to do it for us today. We're going to work on trying to get her to see some Stephen King movies. Can't do a show called Theater Hoppers and you don't want to watch some of the best cinematic stuff.
I will say one thing though. I did watch something. There's a new Netflix movie. Hold on, I gotta find it. There's a new Netflix movie that is a must watch. If you like history, I'm a history buff. And
did you watch Highwaymen?
That one. Highwaymen.
You watched Highwaymen?
Yes, I did. You wouldn't watch it.
Yes,
I
would.
No, you wouldn't.
Come on, that's Woody Harrelson and
They did an awesome job too. They did an awesome job, but I watched it not knowing what I was getting myself into.
It's the story of Bonnie and Clyde, but not the story of Bonnie and Clyde.
Right.
It's the story of the Texas Rangers who are trying to catch Bonnie and Clyde.
When I started watching it, I had no clue. I didn't read anything about it. I just put it on because I actually was working, and I just put it on.
And you don't think that was something I would have been interested in?
Honestly, no.
You see, this is why. Listen, Theater Hopper show is about to get canceled because we can't have. I sat there. We're in the middle of watching the OA, and I could have watched like 3 or 4 episodes, but I didn't because I was waiting for her so we could watch them together. And then she's going ahead and watching stuff without me. We might not have a show next week, ladies and gentlemen. This might be our send-off show. This might be the season finale because I am not going to keep doing this show, and you keep watching stuff.
You okay? You need some tissue? It was a great movie. If you ever get a chance to watch it, watch it. It was, it's history. So I really didn't think he would watch it because he just doesn't like history. But again, it is Woody Harrelson.
She don't love me.
I do. It's Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner, and it really shocked me because I really wasn't expecting to see
Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner movie.
They didn't
sit without me.
Yeah, they did a great job.
I wouldn't know because I didn't see it.
They did. I did. They did a great job. And
in that note, ladies and gentlemen, we out the theaters, so you don't have to. We'll see you guys next week.
I really didn't think you would watch.